Hello there. I'm Kathy Times, an Emmy winning journalist and the founder of Kathy Times Wow Professional Development, where we help aspiring professionals assess, define, communicate, and activate the wow in their authentic brand story so that they can soar. If you're joining us for the first time, we have been speaking with awesome professionals who have pivoted during a pandemic and they're switching gears. I'm really excited because we have Anne Pryor, who is a LinkedIn expert, joining us to discuss how she is assisting people, especially during the Great Resignation. Hello, Anne. It's always great to see you.
Hey, Kathy. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You have assisted more than 25,000 people, from executives to college students, including me, enhance their LinkedIn profile. And we're talking about more than 250,000 people you've trained over the years. Wow. Tell us, what made you, first of all, decide to really focus on LinkedIn?
Wow, what a good question. Actually, in 2008, we had the same kind of situation as now, and I lost 2 jobs in 24 months.
Wow.
And I was pivoting from being an executive in innovation and wellness to being a career coach. And I saw the opportunity really to help people connect using LinkedIn as an online tool during that Great Recession in 2008. So that's been 15 years now that I've been helping people leverage this tool along with other coaching techniques and working with you on branding to help people really look great to be found.
I thought that my LinkedIn profile was pretty good. I mean, I had been a journalist, anchor, investigative reporter for more than 20 years, president of a National Association of Black Journalists, chief communications officer. So I thought I was doing a pretty good job. How do you help people take their profile to another level?
Well, Kathy, you were doing a pretty good job. The lens that you didn't necessarily look through, however, was search engine optimization and maybe how other people were finding you. In addition, what you didn't know is LinkedIn changes all the time. So it's a huge media rich format tool. And so I help people do just that. Really bump their LinkedIn profile up, give them a makeover, and leverage all the tools and techniques on LinkedIn, including now that new video where your head is when people go to your LinkedIn profile. You have a talking head and you have a flat photo. So tools like that. In addition, hashtags have changed. So thought leadership is really a huge component of LinkedIn, along with your professional situation, where you went to school and where you worked, and then your connections, your Rolodex, and then thought leadership. So I help people with all three of those strategies to make sure that they have encompassed LinkedIn.
Hence the name of one of your courses, How to Look Great and Be Found. You have really assisted us with WOW Professional Development and helping all of our cohorts who just love what you do really enhance not only their profile, but their way of thinking throughout the course. And what I tell people is, especially during this time, I have 3 pillars in which I talk about, which are really the foundation of my success. And it really begins with that practice and looking at how you perform, especially on a daily basis, and being consistent. And once you've mastered, which so many mid-career professionals have done, really mastered the art of their profession, especially today, they really want more quality time for themselves and their family, and they're really looking to pivot. So those are really the 3 foundations of my career. Can you talk about what has sustained you and what are the pillars of your success?
Mm-hmm. Great question. So the sustaining has really been in my network because I really care about people. I want to help people be their best. And so I've created a foundation of folks that are in my network that really sustain me. So for instance, Kathy, anytime that I want to pivot from being an artist to being a subject matter expert in healthcare and innovation to now a career coach and an online strategist, I go to my network. And because they know me, love me, and trust me, they're going to help me to be successful. So one of the foundational things that we need for our folks on this call to make sure that they never stop connecting with friends meaningfully. If you want to call it networking, that's fine. But really check in with your folks and make sure you've got a well-rounded portfolio of people in your network in the different hubs. So the connection is really critical. The second piece for me is learning. So I learn about an hour a day. I actually set up Google Alerts for what I'm interested in. I read those Google Alerts. I may share them. But when I learn, I can add value to others. So really the learning relates to adding value to others. And then it's checking in with my soul to see what really that I want to do and what people are coming to me for. So I'm pivoting a little bit these days on personal development. So what I'm noticing is there are 14 million people following hashtag personal development on LinkedIn. So I put together a poll and I said, what does that mean to you? Does it mean spiritual development? Does it mean self-awareness? Does it mean meaning and purpose at work and life? Bam, that's what people want. So I'm now offering an opportunity to coach around that. So it's really about connection. It's about adding value. It's about making sure I'm doing meaningful and purposeful work for me and my clients.
I love that. Absolutely. I love it. Now, you help me understand or define that I have a portfolio career. And that's really important for people to understand when they really want to enhance their LinkedIn profile or their social media presence. Because with LinkedIn, that's the best, in my opinion, place for you to go when it's really about business. Because I use many of the social media profiles and they are all benefiting me in some way, shape, or form. But LinkedIn really is the place where people go to do business. And so with that said, can you describe the portfolio career and how you assist people with defining that online?
Right. So, friends, the Great Resignation just happened. 4.4 million people quit their job in September. And now what are they going to do? Well, let's hop back to about the 1950s. So here's when the portfolio career started. There were two sales guys from IBM, and they weren't getting paid their commissions for 9 days. And they thought, gee, that's really too long. And I don't understand what the process is, they said. So these two salespeople actually walked the process of trying to figure out where the bottlenecks were in the system. When they walked the process, they were able to get the process down to about 14 hours. Now, that's a big shift. And what happened was there was a gentleman named Charles Handy in Europe. He worked for Shell. He was also a college professor and really a thought leader in his space of organizational development. And he then predicted, because he saw this continuous improvement strategy within IBM, that there would be less than 50% of people would have real jobs by the year 2020. And he coined the term portfolio work. And he was right on. And he still lives today and provides insights around organizational development. His name, again, is Charles Handy. And so I started reading about him in 2008 when I lost my jobs. And I realized, with some coaching from Patricia Berg, my career coach at the time, she said that, Anne, you would be really ripe for a portfolio career. And what that means is no full-time work. It means part-time jobs that really fill you. It means volunteerism or learning strategies, or it could mean caregiving with your family, or consulting, or speaking, but a variety of revenue opportunities that fulfill you. And so I've been living this life since 2008 and teaching about it.
Oh, that's amazing, Anne. And I find when you lead that type of lifestyle and career, you have more time for your family. Like, I love spending time with my 84-year-old mother. I know that you spend a lot of time with your parents. You spend that time with the things that bring you the greatest amount of joy. And so when I wake up in the morning, I'm super excited about helping people as that executive coach and how you help me lay it out plainly on my LinkedIn profile, because I have that portfolio career. I'm flipping houses. Some days I feel like I'm flipping out, but I'm flipping houses. I'm helping people package their brand story. I love being able to get away and spend that time with mother. And then you also, and I love your paintings. Can you tell me a little bit about that as well?
Mhm. So, Kathy, thanks for sharing your portfolio career pillars. And you're also a speaker and you teach in colleges. So, there's other pillars to you. So, if you look at your life like a flower with 5 petals, because I love flowers, in the middle would be the brand that Kathy can help you work on. So, what is your brand? I facilitate meaningful connections. And one of the petals then for mine would be working one-on-one with clients, either in transition or not. It would be working with sales teams on LinkedIn to help them grow their business, helping small business owners grow their business. I do a lot of speaking. My business partner, Risa just finished this book, When Paradise Speaks, which is all about after death communications and talking to our friend that passed. And Kathy's point, one of the things that I do, and I'm sitting here at my studio today. And so here is my studio. And this piece I just painted this morning, which came through me. And so I'm showing you my tools here. And these pieces now are paintings that I use to talk about our story of asking for help from the other side. So that is a whole new space for me as opposed to LinkedIn. However, there's a connection, and the connection is I help people facilitate meaningful connections, either in this 3-dimensional world with a tool called LinkedIn, or with their soul, with spirits from the other side, God, their angels, saints, and people who have gone before. So my theme is all consistent of communicating and with soul. So they're all revenue streams. Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. And well, with that said, we're super excited because we are gearing up for our winter fall. Well, we're ending the fall cohort, but we're gearing up for the winter WOW 2022 session. And when it comes to helping people look great and be found, of course, Anne is part of our facilitators for our cohorts. And we always talk about look great and be found. So, Anne, we want to give people something to chew on before we end today. So if you could give anyone advice who is looking at, hey, I want out, I'm thinking about resigning or pivoting, what advice would you give them to really start looking at to enhance their LinkedIn profile?
Kathy, just like you do with your beginning process, we want to start by doing an assessment. So friends, if you can just take out a piece of paper and draw a line on a piece of paper, I would like you then to put tick marks where you figured your best milestones. So for instance, I loved working at Valley Fair when I was 21 years old. That was my best job. Then I worked and I opened Camp Snoopy in Mall of America. I got to work with Charles Schultz. That would be another milestone. So I'd like you to think of the milestones in your life that you loved and what you were doing during those milestones. I would like you even to go back farther into your childhood. And I would like you to think about what you wanted to do as a kid. Kathy, do you remember? What did you want to do as a child?
I talk about it all the time. And I wrote sitcoms when I was about 9 years old. So I was always able to write and express myself. And looking back on those days, I was destined to be a writer. And that's what I did for many years. People think, oh, you're on air. You speak for a living. You speak for a living, but you do a lot more writing than speaking as a journalist.
Beautiful. So that's what I'd like you to think about, friends. I wanted to be Nancy Drew. I loved finding things in the street and then connecting them with who lost them. So, and I do that today, make connections. So as you think about this milestone, I'd also like you to think about where you are in your family life. So if you still have to put kids through college, maybe a portfolio career is not right for you yet at this time, or you see what I'm saying? So develop that milestone and then think about what really brings you joy. The question is, if you didn't have to work, you won the lottery, what actually would you be doing? And then create that flower with the 5 petals and put in those petals what you would love to be doing. So, those are the 2 tips that I would give to people right now: the milestone with their most joy, and then the flower with the petals.
Oh, I love that, Anne. I just love how you illustrate the beauty in storytelling because we do begin every WOW cohort with a personality assessment to help people figure out what gifts do they have. And oftentimes I see that people have forgotten. So when you talk about those milestones and when you start assessing the value of your brand, especially looking toward 2022, think about the wow moments and what you accomplished and how you measured that success. All of this will help you get ready for that next pivot. Well, Anne, thank you so much. And I really want to invite people to please continue to send us those messages that you have, any comments that you have. Please, we definitely want to hear from you and answer your questions. And thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you today for our cohort with a group of journalists, as well as in 2022.
Thank you, Kathy. My pleasure. Good luck, everyone.
And before I let you go, how can people find you? How do they? I know you wanted to connect on LinkedIn, but how do we get in touch with you?
Mhm. You can email me at ANNE@priority.com. That's PRYORITY.com. You can find me at www.annepryor.com. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn, which we'll put in the chat.
Great. And for additional information about our next cohort where Anne, as well as others, will be joining us in the new year, you can go to kathytimeswow.com and sign up for a 15-minute consultation. It's absolutely free. And I love to help you there and also tell you more information about how you can be a part of our next cohort.